A very warm welcome to the program Ask the Ministers of God right here on your favorite channel MBCI TV, and we are recording this particular program in Machakos County. We are glad that you found time to be with us. This is a program where we bring to you servants of God, anointed men of God, and help you to just make sense of quite a number of aspects and factors that may be of significance to you as far as your faith and even your Christian principles is concerned. And thank you so much. Tonight we want to look at the subject of eschatology. What is it? When you talk about eschatology, what does it mean? What is the significance of this particular subject? How does it affect you as a Christian? What is it that you're supposed to put into consideration as far as this particular subject is concerned? And I have prepared for you a great panel, anointed servants of God. I want to call them generals of God, to help you make sense of this particular conversation. And before we continue, it's now my pleasure to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Then we'll be able to get to the nitty-gritties of tonight's conversation. Karibuni sana, servants of God, and welcome to this particular conversation. I just want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves. Then we'll be able to get to the heart and the meat of our discussion. Let me start with the one who is very much close to me. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. I would like to first of all greet the audience. I'm not a new face in this program of eschatology, but maybe some of my listeners and the viewers may be for the first time you are hearing about this theme of eschatology. What we mean really about eschatology is an advanced word which stands for the end times. That is all what we mean, the end times. And the Bible has so many things to say about eschatology. And it was even there in the Old Testament. It was prophesied by major prophets as well as minor prophets. And that is what we are dealing today.
Thank you so much, Bishop. And just maybe some 30 seconds also maybe to introduce yourself to our audience.
My name is Bishop Dr. Samuel Mbidhikazita, and I've been in this program for quite a while, and I am very happy that I am now doing a comeback again to this wonderful MBCI TV.
Thank you so much, Karibu sana, Bishop Samuel Kathita. It's a pleasure to have you tonight, and we really look forward to you bringing some clarity as far as this particular discussion is concerned. Our second guest also, welcome to also introduce yourself tonight.
Thank you so much, viewers. Bishop Dr. Stephen Nyaga, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bishop Stephen Nyaga. Also a pleasure to have you. Remember, you can also catch us live on our Facebook page, that is MBCI TV. Kindly drop a comment or two, and we'll be glad to also find out how you respond to this particular robust conversation tonight as far as this particular subject is concerned. And maybe I can also give Bishop Nyaga an opportunity to also bring us to speed and help us to put into context the meaning of eschatology and how relevant it is to today's generation.
Thank you so much, viewers. Welcome to this very, very special time. Eschatology is events of end time. And of course, biblical end time, because everything that has beginning has got the end also. And it is of great importance to understand or to have knowledge, to acquire knowledge of events of the end time, because everything that has a beginning has an end. And so the world has a beginning and the world has an end. So eschatology is events of the Bible that marks the end time and that gives a Christian, or rather the people of this world, on what is going to happen and what is happening and why the happening is happening.
Why the happening is happening. And just to come back to you, Bishop Kathita, when you talk about the end times, what are we really looking at? Some people would be asking the end of what?
When we talk about end time,
yes,
it's a wide range of time, because actually it began by the New Testament. You understand that the birth of Jesus Christ was prophesied, and the birth of the church was prophesied at the end times. These things will take place, and they have taken place. Actually, we are advancing in the end times itself, even right now. Yeah.
We are actually advancing in the end times. Bishop Nyaga, because maybe that is one of the misconceptions that has been there when you're talking about end times, and maybe one would be asking, how end is end? Are we now looking at the end now being very imminent, as opposed to maybe to the former or the previous years or the ancient times?
Actually, it is very, very true, because we are very much at the end of the time. And when you talk of the end time, we are talking of events that are marking the end of a matter. And some of things that are marking the end of the time. And when you talk about the end of the time, we are talking about the end of the world. This world is coming to an end. Despite the development and things that are happening into this world, a day is coming that all that we see and that which we hear will come to the end of it. We'll never see it again.
Okay.
And so when you talk about the end time, is that everything will stop. No matter what you are doing, you are building, you are very busy doing a lot of things, the end of a matter is coming.
Sure.
And so before it comes, that's why we found it's very, very important to talk on it. How will it end?
Right.
What are the events that are marking? And mostly we'll talk about the signs.
Sure.
Because anything that has an end begins with signs.
It begins with the signs.
Yeah, you note it by signs.
Yes.
Yeah, when you see this sign,
Okay.
it gives you a reason that something is coming to an end here.
Wow.
So there are some signs of the end time that marks that things are not very good. And so viewers, even to those that are Christians, you need to understand the events of end time, or things or signs that are leading to end time. And one of the signs, of course, is right now, everybody is talking about there's no food. Hakuna chakula. Ja. Everybody is talking about priest and priest government. Where is food? But truly, can government give food to all people? Not really. Because the Bible says, before the coming of Jesus Christ. Now, when you talk about also the end time, we need to know these two events. One, why do we call it an end time? Because Jesus came the first time. At the first time of coming to Jesus Christ, he was coming to resolve the matter of sin. Because sin had already affected the world. Adam, having sinned, he corrupted the world. And because of corruption of sin, the world was judged, that it will come to the end. So when you talk about the end of the time, it's a result of sin. So the world will pass away. In other words, the world is judged by God.
Wow.
Because of a sin of one man, the world will come to the end. But our God is a God of order.
Sure.
Before he brings everything to the end, he has some events that he has put in place so that man can take a time to reason together and think whether, now as we look forward towards the end of the time, where is my end as a man?
Yes.
Will I be ending when the world is ending? Or where will I be?
Sure.
So these signs of the end time is what we want to bring together and see. One being, kutakuwa na njaa duniani. Dunia itakuwa na chakula. Hii ni unabii. This is a prophecy. There will be no food in the world. And so the whole world will be suffering one common problem. The food is not enough. Why is the food not enough? No rains. Why is rains not there? Charcoal burning. People are burning all the charcoals around, all trees. And so destruction that has taken place in the world is also a preparation of coming of our Lord. So as we look forward, the fights that are there in the world, the political changes in the world, like now we are having Ukraine and Russia, they are fighting, which attracts other world to come together. And you can imagine the whole economy now is between Russia and Ukraine. And all of us, we are suffering because of two countries. What is the sign of this one? Anything that is coming to an end it portrays the weighing down. So the wound is portraying the weighing down.
Sure. Thank you so much, Bishop Nyaga. Well put there. And maybe also Bishop Kathita, you can pick up from where Bishop Nyaga has left. How do you see how the signs that we are seeing today have been captured in the scriptures? And for purposes of someone who would be saying that maybe even these signs were seen so many years ago, how do you really help them to know that the end is actually imminent?
Actually, when we talk about the end times, we are talking about biblical prophecy that had to be prophesied so that we who are living at this age may be aware what is going to happen. We are kind of a trumpet to the world to tell the people of the world everything is not usual. It's no longer usual, because the time is far spent and the signs are with us. When you are traveling, as our pastor said sometime, you are traveling on the road. There are road marks which says several miles to Jerusalem, several kilometers to Egypt or to Cairo. These marks, they are the ones which we are talking about. The time is far spent and the marks are with us. Anytime the final trumpet can be blown, and that is why we are cautioning everybody. There will be no preachers all the time, because there is a coming time when there will be no preachers, when there will be no prophets. Because God uses prophets to deliver people. He used Moses to deliver Israel. And by a prophet, he established the nation of Israel. We are here to deliver this message to those who are living at our times, and to prepare them so that they may get delivered out of this world, which is full of many events and the things which are not quite good. So the signs of serious famine, brethren fighting one another, wars here and there, and hatred in families, in communities, poor economy, in many countries, not only in Kenya. There is nothing we can do, because whatever is happening here is happening all over Africa. It's happening all over Europe. It is happening all over America. And they are also trying to solve a problem which they will not be able to solve, because it is end time. The only thing the bishop had told us is that it's something to do with one person preparing himself or herself for these things. And the one is to know that when the time ends, when the final trumpet is heard, when the trump rolls, will my name be there? Will I be called? And if I am called, will I be called to judgment or to salvation? Because we are talking of two things. Salvation in the present time, and salvation and the redemption in the when the time comes into its fullness.
Absolutely deep there. Thank you so much also, Bishop Kathita, for bringing us into context. This is the discussion on eschatology, what will take place in the end times. You don't want to miss this particular robust conversation. It is actually the ultimate destiny of each and every human being. And helping us tonight in this particular discussion is Bishop Stephen Nyaga and also Bishop Kathita Samuel. Thank you so much. We want to take a short break at this particular point. Continue catching us live on our Facebook page, that is MBCI TV. We are coming back with plenty more.